Wow. What up, y'all? This your boy DJ Rooster back at it again. Wake your ass up. And Wallace never sleeps. Yeah. All right. You know what that time is. It's been a while since I made a long form video. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot going on. Holidays, Thanksgiving and all that. With Christmas coming up, New Year's, and all, it's a busy time out here in the city. The weather's way better. As you know, it's warm out here during the wintertime. So I see a lot of the national media talking about the Chris Paul trade, how this the anniversary of the non-trade, which is the most influential non-trade in like the history of the world. You know what I'm saying? Like this non-trade really set up the rest of the league for years. So a lot of people talk about it from the Lakers' point of view, not really from the Hornets' point of view. So as a native New Orleanian, 504 all day, you hear me? Want to add a little insight on three main topics when it comes to, the Chris Paul non-trade and then the eventual trade that followed. So as y'all know, the NBA owned the Hornets at the time. And they wanted a trade that would benefit the team. So like as a Kobe fan, I want the trade to go through, and I want to see Chris Paul succeed because Chris Paul was, he was great here. He had every right to leave. Like Anthony Davis, he was a whole different thing. He destroyed him and LeBron destroyed the really like good team that we had. Taking Rondo and that was a whole thing. But Chris Paul, like we was winning, we was doing good. Then the Hornets traded all their players away. And then they bragged about saving money. Silliness. The Hornets were like the last team undefeated. I remember that year. It was the year because I was working at the Superdome. Hornets were the last undefeated team. They beat the Mavericks in a home and home. They beat the Mavericks in Dallas with Dirk and them, and this was the eventual champions, Miami Heat came down, we beat their ass. You know what I'm saying? It was that first year together. It was weird because everybody was booing him. I was like, it's New Orleans. Why the fuck we booing LeBron? I mean, we don't care about a dude like that. I don't care about Cleveland. But yeah, it was weird. Everybody was booing him. But we won that game. The first game we lost was against the Mavericks on a home and home. Because I worked the home game that we lost. I worked the first game that the Hornets lost that year. Once again, we was the last undefeated team. As statistics show, the last undefeated team usually gets at least to the conference finals. So, after that bullshit, Chris Paul was like, all right, I'm out of here. Because this was make or break year. Because remember, right before, man, Chris Paul was watching Drew Brees and win that Super Bowl. And I'm looking at Chris Paul's face during that Super Bowl parade. He was like, man, I want that. And I knew right then and there, he's out of here. So, when Brees hold that trophy, Brees with that trophy and shit, and Chris Paul looking, he's like, yeah, I want that. I saw his face, dog. I knew he was out of here. And whenever the Hornets traded all their dudes away and then the team started sucking and he requested a trade, I was like, I would too. I get it. So the main thing with the trade, and the number one reason why they say the Chris Paul trade got vetoed is the Hornets would not have been well off with that trade because New Orleans is going to get Pau Gasol. And how the rest of our team was constructed, we was going to be good enough to like be a mediocre team. Not good enough to be good and not bad. So that's what we was going to be in a weird spot. So I get it from that perspective. And a lot of people don't. And a lot of people don't care because they don't really care about New Orleans being trash. But if the league owns a team, they want themselves to be in a better situation. So that's like, that's the number one reason that they fed us. But the actual number one reason, which is point number two, and here it is. I know y'all tired of hearing it. Maybe not, what I'm saying. But LeBron and the NBA, the media. And it's unfortunate, but at this time, Kobe had already gone through his Colorado, stuff, so the league wasn't really trying to promote him like that. Because it was like LeBron versus Kobe. But then it's like, ooh, let's back off. So they didn't really want to like promote him, which coincided with the NBA already starting off favoring LeBron. Once again, like I said in my other video, once LeBron won that Rookie of the Year over Carmelo, who led his team to the playoffs, the main scorer, and made all the difference in the West. Like, he led his team to the playoffs in the West as a rookie. And LeBron in the East could not. I was like, okay, the league, the fix is in. Because they was calling him the greatest player of all time before he even entered the league. He was the chosen one. He was this. So the league was already, like, if y'all like young and just don't remember the NBA then and how much like LeBron propaganda. Remember the MVP, the most valuable puppets? Remember that nonsense? LeBron ain't do nothing. He was already in the conversation with Kobe. You know, and they was pushing that. So once LeBron was like, okay, any of my opposition needs to be destroyed. That's what the league did. Those four main players: Dwight Howard, Carmelo Anthony, Kobe Bryant, and Chris Paul. These were the four biggest threats to LeBron during that time. And all of them got like destroyed by the media and by, the NBA. Chris Paul, that we already know, Scott Foster and them dudes, the refs hate this dude. So like they're gonna find any way to cheat Chris Paul out. They're not sending him with Kobe. They're not. They was not gonna let that happen. Because Kobe and Chris Paul would have dominated. Like he would have won 3-4 more chips, like for real. Like, and then they even pushed Kobe out. Kobe could have played another year or two, because they wouldn't give him an excuse. He came back from like an Achilles injury. Look at with Klay Thompson, all the excuses this dude get. But with Kobe, they didn't even give him a full season to recover. I was like, son, let him work back into shape. Towards the end of his last season, about a few months in, he started looking like himself. I was like, yeah, man, I can't wait to see Kobe. But the media was forcing him to retire. He was only 34. 34, he wasn't even 35. I was like, son. I'm like, what y'all doing? I want to see Kobe. But the media was forcing this dude. But it was talking so much smack on Kobe. They forced him to retire. Kobe did not have to retire. Like he was just coming back. He came off a damn Achilles, ACL, all these things, all these injuries, bro. That Achilles was killing. But he was looking good. So they couldn't let Kobe and Chris Paul team up. They messed over Dwight Howard. They messed over Carmelo Anthony. The league literally snatched Iman Shumpert and J.R. Smith and gave him to LeBron. Crazy. That's why Carmelo was so pissed. He's like, y'all send him to him? Why would the Knicks organization do that? They were forced to. LeBron, when he sees players he wants to get, the NBA makes that call and brings them over. That's just how it was back then. Now, it's still kind of now, but not nearly as much. We know with Luka, he wanted Luka, stole Luka. That's a whole nother video, how LeBron and them don't get heat for that. They orchestrated this. They stole Luka from y'all, but y'all mad at Nico. Nico didn't even have a choice. Just like IGM didn't have a choice. Dell Demps got fired because he didn't want to trade Anthony Davis. And when we brought the dude from Cleveland, who was LeBron's boy, when they brought him to New Orleans, I knew we were screwed because the deal that we got was worse. When Dell Demps, the one they turned down, they went through Kuzma in there too. So we would have had all that in addition to Kuzma. And then we had like something else too. But yeah, the deal we got with Griff wasn't nearly as good. So, I mean, this is what it is. If LeBron wants something during that time, he wanted it. Dwight Howard, the media was destroying him. LeBron could not get past Dwight Howard. Like, son, the league had to get Dwight Howard up out of there because, like, LeBron would not have won, like, hardly any rings in the West, if any, if Dwight Howard was allowed to stay in the East, not the West, in the East. Boy, they had to do everything they can to disrespect. Dwight Howard was trying to work on his game. They told him no. He said, man, I want to shoot threes. He was ahead of his time. Dwight Howard wanted to handle the ball more. He wanted to shoot threes. Just imagine how great he would have been if the league would have just let him be great. His years in Charlotte were amazing, but nobody talks about it because the league have to put him down to prop up LeBron. That's just how it is. So bring that all the way around to point number 3. Another point number 2 is long, but that was the main thing, you know what I'm saying? The number one reason was, our team was going to be bad. our team wasn't going to be good enough. It was going to be mediocre, yeah, not good enough and not bad enough, which makes sense on the surface. But yes, that was true, but that wasn't the primary reason. It was LeBron. That was the primary reason. And one number three, a lot of people don't realize we had an ownership group that wanted to buy the team. Morris Barton them 925-8000. One call. That's all though. I think that's Morris Barton too. I know he had 925-8000. 925-8000. I'm pretty sure one call. That's all him too. But yeah, they didn't have enough money. And Tom Benson didn't want to buy the team. So the league came up to Tom Benson. Was like, hey, look, we'll give you a first round draft pick, but not just first round. We'll guarantee you the number 1 overall pick in Anthony Davis. So we'll give y'all a star in Eric Gordon. Who Eric Gordon was like a star at the time. You know, I know every New Orleanian probably threw up a little bit. You know, mentioned Eric Gordon, probably one of the more hated players that the city just don't mess with. I think it's still bad blood. So it's been like 14 years, you know? But so it was gonna be like a David Stern situation. Not David Stern, David Robinson. When he was hurt and they got the Spurs. It looks perfect opportunity. Because Eric Gordon was hurt at the time. So they was like, look, Eric Gordon, we'll give you this guy. You go, I'm having a brain fart. We do one take. Anyway, like we said, you got Eric Gordon who's hurt. Yes. You got Eric Gordon who's hurt, so you're going to be trashed this year. But next year, you'll have Anthony Davis and Eric Gordon to build around. And Tom Benson's like, all right. So he bought the team, guaranteed him the number 1 overall. Anthony Davis was wearing a Hornets cap before the team even drafted him. Like, so it was obvious that he was coming here. And that was the deal for Tom Benson buying the arena. So, all right, you can buy this. We go with the Chris Paul trade. We go send him to the Clippers, who nobody cares for anyway. So we go send him to LA. Just the Clippers. So y'all get Eric Gordon. So, I mean, that's pretty much the gist of what happened, really. They signed a dotted line, and then, we had AD, which is a good move, actually. Look, as a Kobe fan, it hurt. But as a New Orleanian, I mean, it worked out. And those are some great years, bro. Like, Dell Demps was a fire GM. Well, built some good-ass teams. But that team with AD, Eric Gordon, who still balled out when he was healthy-ish. He played well enough when he was healthy. Tyreke Evans, more importantly, and Drew Holiday. Dell Demps bringing in Drew Holiday like that and getting Tyreke Evans. Man, Dell Demps was so good. He really just filled out our roster with just good dudes, good basketball players. Vibe in the locker room was always good, with the exception of Gordon, you know what I'm saying, F that guy. But once we got rid of him, it was, better. But, that team was nice. Unfortunately, we had to, run into Golden States. Every time we ran into Golden State, we never really got to see anybody else except one team who we effing destroyed, Portland. I've never seen a destruction like that in all my years watching basketball. That's how I knew our team is a championship caliber team, because point differential really shows you. Because Anthony Davis, Drew Holiday went on to be the main contributors to that championship roster. You know what I'm saying? Sickening. New Orleans fans are sickening. They pushed Drew out. So, sickening. But they like CJ. Oh my God. It's still getting me started, But yeah, those teams are good. So the Veto actually helped New Orleans out a lot, because you got Anthony Davis. And the only problem was injuries, because Eric Gordon, Drew Holiday, Tyreke Evans, and Anthony Davis all missed a whole bunch of time. And they were our main contributors. But when all 4 of them dudes are healthy, we were nasty. Like nasty. And Drew Holiday was the biggest one, because Drew Holiday really kind of messed up 2 of our seasons. Because he was injured. He was injured in that one season. Then at the second half, he missed some time with his wife. His wife and kids were going through something. I don't want to get into it, but it was some serious shit. So he missed a chunk of one season, which tanked that season. Then he missed half the next season, which tanked that season. So, man, I love Drew, one of my favorite Pelicans, but I mean, I'm not going to lie. Drew Holiday, he wasn't hurt because he was hurt earlier. But when it came to like his family, he was just looking after his family. So those 2 years really like hurt us like a lot, really. But the trade actually worked. So was it good for the NBA? Maybe not. But I mean, it was good for the Hornets, then the Pelicans for a little bit. But yeah, that's all I gotta say today. I mean, I rambled a little bit more. The points wasn't as clear as I wanted. I was trying to make another video, with Asia Wilson saying some nonsense. I was trying to like clip a video and all that. I spent like 2 hours really just like getting frustrated. So like my mind was not the same. But if y'all stay to the end, please subscribe, like, share the video, and tell your people, hey, that boy Rooster know what he's talking about when it comes to that New Orleans sports. I mean, I know a little bit about something. If you want some good insights that you're not going to hear anywhere else, some very unique basketball takes and insights, y'all know what to do. Hit that button, stay tuned, and tell your friends. Boy Rooster out. Fly, Pelicans, fly.